What's up, clan? Island Trader FX here. Back with another one. It's been a minute, but guess what? I'm here. Want to be more consistent, and I will be working on that every day to ensure that I am. I only took 2 trades this week, and both of them were W's, both of them were wins. So we're going to be going through those trades. I know this week has been somewhat tough for both scalpers and swing traders alike. There are just a handful that I follow on YouTube, just to look at the overall process, not necessarily the strategies. Don't do strategy hopping. If you have something that works, it works. Stick to it, and that is it. But we're going to quickly jump into that video, into the actual breakdown of what I saw and how I took the trades, and then later on I'm going to add a clip of some fun that we had in the Carnival season. Definitely, it was all good. Wasn't able to capture everything because, of course, I was having fun. But you're going to get a sneak peek. Yeah? Ciao. Okay, so we're now on the chats. So let's get to it. So the 2 trades that we took would have been Euro JPY and Euro CAD, I believe. Let me try to just up the brightness here. Okay, so we're going to start off with, well, we're already on Euro JPY, so we're going to go ahead and start off with that. Euro JPY, not going to be honest, I wasn't too confident with the trade, but of course there will be days you see the overall structure of the market and you're like, I'm a bit iffy about it, right? But at the end of the day, your trading strategy, you just have to go ahead and go with the flow with it, because you've seen what your trading strategy has been able to do, so you just have to go with the flow, basically. And that is essentially what I did with Euro JPY. It was the last trade that I took, although I'm starting with it first. It was the last trade that I took. But we could see on the weekly, Euro JPY has been bullish, okay, for weeks now. Okay, definitely more than a month it has been bullish. You could see we have a weekly fair value gap right here. Let me just mark it out. So you could see we have a weekly fair value gap right here. We could see that price tapped into that fair value gap and expanded at one point and then broke below, which basically invalidates the fair value gap, right? But on the daily, what did I see? I noticed that after price push higher, right? That's just looking at just the daily time frame. After price push higher, it created a daily FVG right here. Okay, it pushed higher, it broke above this high, and it created a daily FVG. Okay, and we could see that price actually melted all the way back into that daily FVG. So my thought process at the time is, if price wants to continue bullish and it would have broken above this high right there, why would it need to come all the way back down into that daily fair value gap when the obvious draw on liquidity is right here and price was really not too far away from that? So I wasn't too confident in the trade, but I know at the end of the day, when you get those high time frame PDRAs and price taps into it, more than likely price is going to react. Whether it reacts a little or whether it reacts a lot, the fact is price is going to react. And that is what I based everything off of. And when price tapped into that daily fair value gap, I went down to my hourly time frame and I looked for an expansion to the upside, which I got literally right here. So let me open it up so you could see. I got an expansion to the upside. This is when price slowly came into that weekly fair value gap, made the expansion to the upside, left behind a hourly fair value gap. I waited for price to tap back, fill in this imbalance. Obviously, I was in a bit of drawdown, but I honestly did not care. Risk is risk. Whatever you put on to risk, you have to feel comfortable with it. If you don't feel comfortable with it, it doesn't make sense. And as you could see, we had a nice expansion to the upside. 1, 2 in the second hour, we were already at TP. So it happened so nicely. So of course, we hit TP on that trade. All right. So let's jump over to Euro CAD. Okay, so now that we're on EuroCard, let's just get straight into it. On the weekly, we could definitely see price has been bullish for EuroCard as well. You could definitely see bullish market structure. If you jump to your line chart, you could literally see the highs and the lows. Price is moving bullishly. So when price pushes down, that massive drop. Okay, so we could see that price tapped into the fair value gap once, right? And then it pushed lower and then pinned higher. So we could clearly see that price is respecting this imbalance right here. So between those two price points, we could clearly see that price is respecting this imbalance. So I looked at the first tap into the imbalance. I looked at the second one as a sweep of that low. If we go down to the daily time frame, we could see the low. This is the low right here. We could see that price just swept that low and it pushed higher. Okay, in my opinion, if price wanted to push lower, after that sweep, they shouldn't have expanded all the way into this old bearish FVG. All right, they should have pushed into this. If they had to push into this bearish FVG, which they did, they should have wicked it and closed below it and then continue lower from there. But as you can see, price did not do that. Price pushed into this bearish FVG and they close here. Right, when they close, what happened? Price created a daily FVG right here, daily imbalance, right? And of course that imbalance has to be filled. All right, so on my 4-hour time frame, I witnessed the tap into that daily imbalance. Okay, I witnessed the tap into the daily imbalance, but it's actually on the 1-hour time frame that I executed. So price tapped right here, they pushed higher, they expanded higher on the hourly time frame, and of course the expansion created a bullish FVG or bullish imbalance. What I did, I wanted price to go ahead and retrace into that imbalance and into that overlapping high with the imbalance. As soon as they tapped in, obviously we were not in profit for a while, and you could see at one point we almost got stopped out less than a peep, and then price started to push higher and higher and higher, and then it consolidated for a while, and then finally it hit TP for a 1:2.7 and almost a 1:3. And this was my overall thought process on both of the trades. Of course, every day is not going to be a winning day. Every day is not going to be a losing day. You just have to roll with the punches, right? So that is essentially it for the video. Up next, I'm going to be sharing with you the snips that I took. Ciao.